the lowest, they're the most effective to reach the end beneficiaries. So as compared to the other programs, we also have seen a book, and you're probably laying outside. So I'm just reminding you that we still have that literature available that you can look at and perhaps find online. Then, of course, we had our Solidarity Labs that you guys were talking just a little bit before in the plenary session here and covering your reflections on that. Let me just remind you of who participated. So we had 6 projects there: the Theatre with No Home, Where the Street Art, Defenders on the Riverscape. Then we also had Educative, Leaders of Solidarity, and Recipes for Success. And those have been also the projects that you guys discussed in your discussion groups. And in the end of last day, we had a panel discussion with Virna, Yaya, Beata, and Andrea, and where they have been speaking on behalf of their discussion groups about their reflections and what kind of discussions they had there. And from what I can recall, Andrea shared that his group highlighted the connection between solidarity and political participation and engagement, talked about solidarity is subjective and is experienced in different ways, that solidarity is also a tool and can be used for good and bad causes. Virna mentioned about butterfly effect, if you remember, that the small changes can have a long-term impact. She mentioned that the River Project ignited the most discussions and a lot of questions as well. Then Beata groups reflected on debates around paying volunteers and using volunteers in political ways. She spoke about connection between the municipalities and the individual efforts of volunteers. River Project and Theatre projects resonated with many in her discussion group. And also she spoke that all is one and one is all, and every action creates a reaction. I think it was also very relevant to that point. Yaya has continued on that solidarity is different from region to region. She spoke about the mottos and identities, bridging the gap between the politicians and the young people. And then she also mentioned that when you go deeper on the group level, people tend to have individual perceptions of solidarity based on their own personal priorities.